Some executive changes comes to Walt Disney Imagineering. A lot of fans are, getting kind of hot over this. This is the worst thing ever. As usual with everything Disney, it's the worst thing ever. But I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about what this all means for Walt Disney Imagineering up next. Hey everybody, welcome aboard to another episode of Orange Grove 55. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about some top level executive changes that was recently announced for Walt Disney Imagineering. So let's dive into it. Let's analyze it just a little bit, shall we? All right. So my friends over here at dapsmagic.com. Now, definitely support Daps. I love this guy, man. This guy has been in the community for a very long time. He does phenomenal work, a lot of great content. Support his website, his YouTube. He does a lot of great stuff. So he's saying here, Barbara Bouza, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Barbara Bouza named president of Walt Disney Imagineering as Bob Weis to become Global Imagineering Ambassador. So it says here that Bouza was most recently in the role of president of Walt Disney Imagineering of business management, design, and development. She was given this role earlier this year, right? Previously, she was president, business operations, design, and delivery at Walt Disney Imagineering. This role she was given when she joined Imagineering in June of 2020. Before that, Barbara was the co-managing director, principal of Gensler, Los Angeles. This was a collaborative leadership role where she brought strategic design management for clients like Netflix, Amgen, JPL, NASA, Debbie Allen, and City of Hope. She's also a fellow of the American Institute of Architects and was the 2019 AIA Los Angeles president. She's also on the board of the Southern California chapter for the International Interior Design Association. Okay, so here are my thoughts on this move. There's been a lot of outrage, predictably, from the Disney community over Barbara's promotion, right, to president of Walt Disney Imagineering. And the most prominent critique that I hear, right, is that she's only been with the company for 1 year. So therefore, she must be terrible. She must be the worst thing ever. She has no experience, right? Oh man, I gotta say, I'm calling bullshit on this. Okay, look, I don't know the kind of job that Barbara is going to do. I am not clear. I am not a psychic. I have no idea, but I'm willing to give her a chance. I really dismiss this idea that you have to be some sort of like Disney lifer with the company for decade after decade after decade in order to be a good executive. We've seen this proven wrong countless times. Michael Eisner, Frank Welch, Jeffrey Katzenberg, none of these men were promoted from within Disney. They came from outside studios. Michael Eisner was an executive over at Paramount. I think Frank Wells worked at Warner Brothers. They came in and revitalized Disney. They understood Disney, even though they didn't spend a day working at Disney. They came in and hit the ground running and did a phenomenal job running that studio, that company. They understood Disney, right? You have people like Howard Ashman. Again, not a Disney lifer. He came in as an outsider and revitalized Disney animation. Okay, this has happened time and time and time again. The big bad villain that you all hate, Bob Chapek, which I think is vastly overrated. I think that he's not nearly as terrible as a lot of people say. But Bob Chapek is a Disney lifer. He's been with Disney for decades, like 30 years. 30 years. So just because, and this is my point, just because you've been with the company for a long time, many, many years, many, many decades, does not necessarily mean that you're going to understand the brand and that you're going to be just a kick-ass executive at Disney. Sometimes the outsiders are better and better equipped than the lifers. Okay. And we've seen this a lot. Now, look, I think Imagineering needs new blood. I think it needs fresh eyes. Imagineering has had problems for a long, long time in terms of projects taking forever, way longer than they should, going over budget, things like that. I think that we really do need, this is a time when we really do need some fresh blood to come in and sort of look at things from a different perspective. Okay. And look at things from a different perspective. I don't think that just being a lifer and being there forever necessarily works. We've seen this in politics, even. There's been kind of a thirst for outsiders to come in and to get involved in politics, because sometimes when you're in that DC bubble for too long, you kind of lose touch. Now, I'm not saying that Bob Weis has lost touch with Disney or Imagineering. I'm not saying that at all. Bob Weis is a Disney legend. Okay. Bob Weis is an absolute Disney legend. All I'm trying to say is that outside eyes are not necessarily a bad thing. She's only been in Imagineering for a year. I consider her an outsider. Give her a chance. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm fucking saying, is give this woman a chance. We've seen outsiders historically come to Disney and do phenomenal, legendary things. Give Barbara a chance and let's see how she does. Now, look, 2 years from now, I might make a video saying how terrible she's run Imagineering. Who knows? She might be the worst thing that's ever happened to Imagineering. But also, she could very well have been the best thing that's ever happened to Imagineering. We just don't know yet. And I think that sometimes it's really good to kind of have outsiders come in and sort of look at situations, because I do believe when you're a lifer and you've been with the company for year after year after year, decade after decade, sometimes you do get kind of entrenched in that little echo chamber, in that little bubble. So I think Barbara, and look, her resume is solid. She's done work with a lot of architect firms. She's worked with companies like Netflix and NASA. She's got chops. Give her a chance, guys. Gosh, man, the ink isn't even dry on her contract yet, and there's fans out there dismissing her like she's some sort of flunky, like she's gonna come on, let's give her a chance. We just don't know yet. Outsiders have proven time and time again to be incredibly beneficial to the Walt Disney Company. And this is one thing that I actually wish that Bob Iger and the board would have taken a little more seriously. And when they were looking for like a successor to Bob Iger, they paid lip service mostly to looking at outsiders for the CEO role. But really, they were more focused on internal candidates. And I think that was to their detriment. I really do believe people like Peter Rice, who came over very recently when Disney acquired Fox, would have been a far better choice than Bob Chapek, in just my humble opinion. So these outsiders are not a bad thing. Being an outsider is not a bad word. It's not a negative thing. You can definitely understand Disney if you haven't been there at the company for 20, 30 years. You don't need to be there for that long to understand the brand and understand what it needs, in my humble opinion. I'm here to say I'm giving Barbara Bouza a chance. I'm going to have an open mind with her, because you know what? I think Imagineering needs some new eyes, some fresh blood, and to kind of reinvigorate this division of the Walt Disney Company. And kudos to Chapek for doing this. I think it's exactly what Walt Disney Imagineering needs. I'm sure you all disagree with me. I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of shit in the comments, but you know what? This is just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you like the idea of Barbara Bouza becoming, Walt Disney Imagineering president? Do you dislike it? Or are you like me? You're going to be give her a chance. Just have an open mind, right? What do you guys think? I would love to hear from you. Thank you all so much for watching Orange Grove 55. I appreciate all the support over the last 5 years. You guys are amazing. Like, subscribe, and as always, have a magical, magical day.